Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Sacred Drum Medicine Show. My name's Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I am your host. I hope. But before we go any further along, I'm going to take a little sage and I'm going to clear us and clear all the channels and ask Creator, Great Spirit, Great Mother, the Great Mother, and the power of the four directions in all my relations. To clear us, to clear any negatives, to clear any energies that are not necessary and that may be negative and that we don't want here. That any blocks that would come upon the show would never show up because we are a clear channel. I am a clear channel. The computers and the phone lines that we use are clear channels and clear. And I'm so thankful and grateful to be here. And welcome back. And welcome to any new listeners that are with us today or any new voyeurs or watchers that are with us today. Welcome again. And I'm really excited about today's show because what I'm going to talk about today, it may make some people uncomfortable. If I do make some people uncomfortable, good, because I always make reference to poking the bear with a stick, and I poke the bear with a stick because I poke myself with a stick. I do not let myself get away with nonsense with what I like to call porky pies. That's from a movie, Snatch, and it's just the way it is. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about today is how do you take the leap of faith when you don't know what faith is? Really, and think about that. I want my listeners to think about that. How do you take a leap of faith when you don't know what faith is? And I'm going to go into that in just a second because we're going to do some things. We're going to do some calendar stuff. We're going to get that out of the way because I like to get that out of the way before the show, right when the show gets started. So every Tuesday right here at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 1 p.m. Pacific Time, you can catch me, Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And then on Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sound Vibration Magic Drum Bath Journey with Walking Crow. At 8 o'clock, I come on, I sing the spirits in, I offer sage, and we go on journey for 20 to 25 minutes with the sacred drum, with a big powwow drum. And so maybe this week I'll use the new Buffalo hand drum that I have. It's a 15-inch hand drum. She's got a beautiful sound, but for now it's going to be the powwow drum, and then we'll see if I make that change during the week. And then on the 19th of this month, drum making workshop, Walking Crow and Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine, I will be teaching you to make a drum. And I will show you this drum because this drum has such a resonance, and it's a drum that I made on Easter Sunday, and it's so beautiful that I'm excited about teaching you how to make drums. And we've got a bunch of people signed up. I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you that in the show because it's part of what I'm going to talk about. It's part of the medicine that came as I was in Sedona this week, I hope. So that's going to be May 19th. It's $200. Go ahead and go to my website, scroll through, and go to and click on the registration. It's $200. You have till the 14th to do that. If you miss the cutoff date, and it's the 14th because I have to buy materials and have to have them shipped to me. And if you miss cutoff date, let me know and I'll do what I have to do to get extra materials and get you taken care of. Okay, so if we can get anywhere from 5 to 10 people into that class, that's going to be an awesome number, and everybody will have beautiful, beautiful medicine to carry, I hope. So also, word and consciousness with myself at the Church of Truth Center for Awakening Consciousness. I will be there on June 3rd, and I will be talking about word and consciousness. What is word? And how does word come into play with your consciousness? And if you're not speaking in the right way and talking about yourself in the negative and talking about others in the negative, there's no consciousness in that unless you're aware of it and you're unwilling to do something about that. And there's a lot of people who walk around like, I'm going to be speaking in a church, so I'm gonna rub some people the wrong way, and I'm gonna be scraping my nails on the chalkboard of life, and some people are gonna bristle, and that's just the way it goes. Because I didn't ask them to have me speak; they asked me to speak because they knew that I am brave, and I am a brave, and I will stand up and I will say what it is that I have to say. I will not throw stones, but I will bring things to light that'll make you uncomfortable, and you'll either have to say yes, say no, or wait for something to happen. Hi, Sarah. My friend Sarah just logged on. Thank you, Sarah, from Indiana, Austin, and Anthony. Welcome to the Transformational Sacred Medicine Show. I miss you guys. I love you. I know you guys have been following me all week, my adventures in Sedona. I've been in Sedona all week, and it's a blessing to be able to go there. I also wanted to remind you guys that we're coming to the end of springtime, and we're coming into the solstice, the summer solstice. And by the way, the Center for Creative Life in Sedona, Arizona, asked me to do a solstice event on the 21st of June, the day of the solstice. I'm going to be doing that. There's nothing posted yet, but we're going to get that going, and I'm going to be doing that event as well. Also, on the 16th of June, at the Church of Truth, the Center for Awakening Consciousness, I will be doing Healing the Masculine Soul for Father's Day. I will be giving myself to teach fathers, brothers, uncles, sons, friends, relatives, how to come into their voice, how to come into the power after being emasculated for a lifetime. And gentlemen, you know what I mean. Women, you know what I mean. What has happened to our men? What has happened to your men? What has happened to my brothers? What has happened to my fathers, my uncles, my friends? What has happened to them where they think they have to, be in their power with this and be angry and not be able to communicate from the place of their loving heart? So we are going to heal on this day, Healing the Masculine Soul, June 16th at this Church of Truth, Center for Awakening Consciousness. It's $20. I'm going to create an Eventbrite page for that, and it's going to be on Facebook. Look for it this week, and you'll find it. And I would love if you guys were able to show up. I would love, 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 love it. I hope. So, and also I want to remind you that the call-in number for the show, to call in and ask a question, call in and get a healing, call in and tell me I'm full of crap, call in and tell me what's on your mind at 323-870-3791. Because it's Tuesday. Are you choosing the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine because you want more medicine, because you want something good for your life, because you know that what I say is I speak from my experience and not from my opinion? I don't speak from my opinion. I speak from my experience, and I have walked many miles in these moccasins, and I have much to say about much to do. And also, I want to remind you, get your sage. If you want to send somebody something really simple and you don't want to spend a lot of money, it's $18, $18.75 actually. $15 is for the sage bundle, and the $3.75 is for shipping for the U.S. Postal Service. So I don't charge for the box or the envelope. I don't do that. But get your sage, beautiful White Mountain sage from California, and tell a friend, or buy one for a friend, buy one for your mom, buy one for a lover, buy one for somebody that you think may need a little help, a little jump start. So yeah. So there's that. And moving on into the show. You should be excited, because I'm excited. And if you're not excited, I'm going to get you excited, because check this out. Whoa, renewal, ground, root. I am rooted. I am fruited. We're coming into the end of spring. We have planted the seeds. And we're moving into summer. There is the grandfather's son behind this beautiful goddess who is manifesting a beautiful life. She is wearing her red dress. She is rooted and fruited, and she is crowned in flowers because she knows who she is. You know who you are. be and stand in the power of who and what you have always been. I am so excited to pull a card like this. The spirit, her hands are surrounded by energies, the energies of the spirits of manifesting. Look at that. Look at how on one side there's the green grass and the flowers growing, and the other side is dark and dirt, and there's still flowers growing in the darkness, in the dirt, and all her relations. She's in the fairy realm, and that is beautiful, and that is what we want to manifest. She is standing in the between, in the duality, in the middle of who and what she is. Oh, you can see the duality there. Duality. Divine feminine energy of the direction of the West is opposite of the divine masculine energy, which is grandfather son. The divine feminine energy of grandmother moon and 28 days of letting go. She's planted the seeds and she's moving into her harvest and preparing for the fall. Sure, it's 4 or 5 months away. Who cares? Plant the seeds of what you want and you will sprout and grow and harvest a good medicine, a good life, a good future right here, right now, by being present. That is the gift. Makes me happy to pull this card. Ground renewal. Really? Right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Can you take a leap of faith when you don't know what faith is? And I'm going to say that. And there's a lot of people who go to church and who do a lot of things and are faithful people. But there are also people who pray. Not P-R-E-Y. Oh, there's those too. But P-R-A-Y. Pray for what it is they want. Now, I'm going to ask you, I came into this medicine a long time ago with regards to prayer. And when it comes to regards to prayer, I always ask myself when I'm going to pray, what is it I'm praying for? How is it I'm praying? What is it I want? Am I praying again for the same thing over and over again because I don't believe that Creator, Great Spirit heard me the first time, or Divine Goddess heard me the first time, or Great Universe heard me at any point in time? Because if I'm asking a second time, I am not in faith. I am not in the belief that I am what I am, who I am, where I am, when I say I am. I believe, and I hear this all the time from people, well-meaning people, good-meaning people who pray over and over and over again, and then they badmouth Creator, Great Spirit, because he doesn't answer fast enough, slow enough, or fast enough, or and they make you wait, or at all. At all. You know, Creator, Great Spirit, I believe, knows our heart. As a man speaketh, so is he in his heart. That's what the Holy Bible says. And this isn't about the Holy Bible. This is about us. This is about you. This is about, do you or don't you? It's not gray. It's black and it's white. Yes or no. The word also says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And I have to tell you, I'm going to get up close. I'm going to get up close because I'm going to say it to you. I put it out there and then I listen. I listen for what's going to be coming. I listen for what's going to be said. I'm listening for the possibilities. I'm listening for the possibilities. I'm not listening through my insecurities. I'm not listening for my insecurities. I'm listening for the potential and the possibilities of what Creator can possibly say yes to. Whether he says it today, tomorrow, or next year, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And here's something I'm going to talk about. Yesterday, before I left the sacred red rocks of Sedona and the energies of that place and the energies of the beautiful people, and thank you everybody who kept me in their care while I was in Sedona. And I mean that. I say that specifically in that way because I feel that I was kept in the care of the spirits, the spirit world, of the vortices and the magic that happens there, of the people, you know, and I am so blessed and was so blessed and am blessed and graced by just a loving energy that came from that particular place this last week, you know, and boy, and thank you. Yes, Sarah. You know, what's funny is I don't take too many pictures of Sedona anymore. I just kind of go and I take a couple and It's interesting, but yes, it's such a beautiful place, and it's beautiful with me, and it's beautiful without me, because I am always there. Sometimes people say, well, where do you work? And I say, I work everywhere, because I am everywhere. I do long distance healings. I do long distance work. I heal the land and the political landscape and all those across the United States and around the world, because I can. Because I vibrate out good. I vibrate out nurturance. I vibrate out nurturing. I am a nurturer. I know the nature of my nurture, and I know the nurture of my nature. And I fall in line, and that's what I do. You can too. Now, back to the story of Sedona. Before I left, I was looking for a place where there wasn't anybody parked. So I pulled into the place that was along a creek bed, and it was pretty dry, no one around. And I went in and I pulled my drum out, and I pulled out some tobacco that was presented to me by a woman named Arabella Saltwater. She is from Monument Valley in Utah. She was part of a family that I met the day before over in Oak Creek Village, where they were having an art show, display sale, and they were selling, sacred stones, and they were selling blankets, and they were selling different art stuff, jewelry. They do jewelry. As a matter of fact, the Saltwaters, they sell silver, beautiful Native American jewelry, and they're beautiful, beautiful people. Well, anyways, I met Arabella and her husband, and she presented me. She gave me. We shared a sweetgrass, and then we shared tobacco, which has never happened to me with somebody of the nations. I mean, I have my elders and my sweat lodge and stuff, but she shared tobacco with me. She asked me where my nation was, what my nation was, and I told her who I was and where I come from and what I do. And then as I was leaving, I felt I needed to give her something, so I gave her sage. I went to my car and gave her a bundle of sage so she can use ceremonially or to cleanse or do whatever she does. And she sent me on my way with three cigarettes of ceremonial tobacco. So when I pray, I have something to offer Creator Great Spirit. Now I always carry my own, but it was an honor to receive the what she gave me, and I was so blessed, and I was so blessed by her meeting, and her mother, who I met later. I called her grandma. Invited me to up to Utah to the Monument Valley for Pow-wow in June. So I'm willing, and I think Creator Great Spirit is willing. So let's see what I can do to get up to Monument Valley as I make my way to Sedona, as I make my move. And that, because Sedona is going to be where I'm living. If you think I'm living there already, I'm surprised. I haven't moved there yet, but I've been in and out of Sedona, and a lot of the folks really, really believe that I live there. So I pulled over as I was leaving, and I was doing ceremony, and there's some people that have crossed over, and so I wanted to do ceremony for them. My friend Dirk Dirksen, my friend Lynn Edgar, her father passed. Dirk's mother passed a few weeks ago, and my friend Rosie Velasquez here in Pacoima, her mother crossed over a few weeks ago, and I wanted to honor her. And my Aunt Barbara, who left us a couple of months ago, you all heard about that. I wanted to honor her. I had already done that, but I at the gateway of Sedona, I was already on my way out of town, and at the gateway of Sedona, I was able to do that for these people and give gratitude and give tobacco and sage and song for all those who have crossed over, and all those who blessed me in Sedona, and all those who received me in such a beautiful and good way, and even those that I didn't meet. And my time in Sedona was magical. And I'm going to tell you why this is so important. To some of you, it may not be important. But for those of you who have been in your job, and that's what you do, and you go to work and you complain about what you do, then you go home and you kick the dog and you yell at your husband, or you yell at the kids, or you yell at your wife, or whatever it is that happens, because you're unhappy about what your life is like. What are you willing to do to change that? What are you willing to do to change your life? Are you willing to jump without a net and find out if you can't fly? Did you hear what I said? Are you willing to jump without a net and find out if you can't fly? And the answer to that for 90% of America is no, you won't. You can't, because you're willing to live up to the expectations of what other people think of you who don't matter, but you won't do something for yourself that'll give you the freedom of spirit, of a spiritual life, of an abundant life, of a giving life, of a sharing life, of a healing life. You won't do that. You'll go on vacation 2 weeks out of the year or a week out of the year to the same place you went last year and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before. And I'm sure it's beautiful and I'm sure it's pretty, but guess what? It's a big country. It's a big ocean. It's a big mountain. It's a big world. Are you willing to say yes to yourself, to something else and something good? I have done the shadow work of what was necessary to come into the holy space of where and who and what I am and stand in the power of being a warrior of being a nurturer to my community, a nurturer to the people who surround me, a nurturer to my nature. I have to let go of those things that no longer serve, and that's what I'm doing. Sedona, that beautiful great mother, has called to me. It's called, her voice has called my name. And I say yes. And I jump from the tree and I fly, whether I have a net or not, I don't care. I am going there to live my life. I am going there to do the work that I do. I am right now, as we speak, scheduling events across the country so I can meet people and come into your homes and do an event. And I'm going to ask you to bring covered dishes. Ask the people who you invite into your home to bring covered dishes and invite me there and have 10 to 20 people, whether we're in the backyard or crowded into your living room. It doesn't matter. I will come to your place if you so ask me, and you have a group of people that will be there. I will come. This is the faith that I walk in. This is the medicine that I walk in. This is what I want to teach you. Of how to do this, of how to say yes to yourself, how to say no to those things that people said, no, you can't do that. No, you shouldn't do that. No, oh no, you'll get in trouble. Oh no, you better get a job. Oh, don't talk to me that way. Don't have your own voice. Go stand in the corner, raise your hand, sit down, get in line, and shut up. Right? A lifetime of that. Well, guess what? Nope. No more of that. So what are you willing to do? What are you willing to stand in? So what was going on with me this weekend? And it was a beautiful thing. I decided to go. Every time I do that, how much money do I have? I don't know. Do you have money? I got some. I know exactly how much it's going to cost me for gas to get there. It's going to take me just about less than 2 tanks of gas, which is probably about $60, $70. It's going to cost me about the same to get back. Maybe less, maybe about $100 round trip. So, and I'm willing to do that because if I don't invest in myself and who and what I am and who and what I say I do, and if I stand on this station, on Goldylocks Productions, on Blog Talk Radio and Be Live TV, and as Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine, Anthony J. Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I talk about the things that I talk about, and not do the things that I talk about, liar, liar, pants on fire, I don't owe you that. I owe you better than that. And I'm willing to stand in the word of what I say and what I do. And this was the message that I got from a gentleman named Roberto Brazzi in Sedona at the Whole Foods there. He asked me to meet him and I showed up. And when I saw him, and I'm going to tell you, this happened from the moment I drove into town. He said to me, thank you for coming. I love what you say. He says, you do what you say and you say what you do. He says, thank you for coming. And then he said this, thank you for calling me brother. He says, I knew you were the real deal the moment you called me brother. Aho. And we sat down and we talked and we had community. And then another friend, Eileen, came too, because I put out that I was going to be speaking there. And she came, and Mina Watkins, my host, was there. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful an hour and a half, 2 hours of community. At Whole Foods, who knew, right? Anywhere. And prior to that, I was when I got into town, I went to the grocery store because I didn't want to go to Mina's house empty-handed. And I went to go buy some groceries. And I'm walking through the store. And I kid you not, this is like, this happens in Hollywood with people who are famous. I'm walking through the store, and a young lady named Robin who works there, she said, "I know you." I'm like, "Really? Well, from where?" And she says, "I watch your videos on YouTube, and I watch your show, and I follow you on Facebook." And I was like blown away. I was just like, "Really? Wow." I was just blown away by what she said. And she said, "Yeah." She said, "Thank you." She says, "By the way, your cards that are over there in the corner, we're out of cards for you. Can you put more cards?" And then she proceeded to tell me how about they have this space where I can go and I can speak, and I can invite people there to listen to me speak, and I can hang my flyers for other events for other places. And then another woman walks up and that works there and says, "Oh, you," she said, "my sister just sent me a text message about you. She lives in Phoenix, and she wants to come to your drumming tonight at Bell Rock," which is something I already planned at Bell Rock. That was a shamanic drumming that I did. I did the shamanic drumming at Bell Rock that night. And she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're." So we were having a meeting. We were creating community in the natural grocers market. This was in the market. And there was another woman that I saw that was eavesdropping on a conversation. And as she eavesdropped on our conversation, she noticed that I noticed her. So she came on over. I said, "Come on over." And we started to talk. And she says, "What do you do? Who are you?" And I told her. And I told her what I do. She says, "I think I'm supposed to be here to meet you." She says, "Because I've been having a hard time. I need a session. I need a healing session." I hadn't been in town an hour. And here I was. Boom. Because I was willing to go. Because I was willing to say yes. Because I'm willing to do. I'm willing to be. I'm willing to stand in the power and the presence and the gift of who and what I am and who and what I say and what I do, regardless of what the landscape looks like. I say yes, because I had a lifetime of no's that I gave myself. I said no to life by drowning myself in alcohol, by sniffing a ton of cocaine, by smoking dope, and all those things that I did through the 70s and the 80s. And I no longer do those things. I haven't done those things for a lifetime. I haven't done those things for 2 cycles. A cycle is 13. A Mayan cycle is 13. 2 cycles is 26. I am 26 years sober, clean and sober. How about that? And I am an elder. At 52, we become elder. That's 4 life cycles of 13. This is the math, everybody. This is the spiritual math. This is the indigenous math. Are you willing to step in? Are you willing to step into your own life? Trip yourself up and say, "Nope, let me help you up." After you trip yourself up and say, "Are you okay? Are you all right? You don't have to do that anymore. What do you want to do that's different?" What do you want to do that's different? And I get to do this, and you get to do this, and I get to do that, and I get to stand in the power of who and what I am. And regardless of the people of faith that I see, that they say what they say and they pray for what they pray for, I don't pray that prayer. I ask Creator Great Spirit to show me what my abundance looks like. That's it. I'm not being specific, because He knows that I need money. He knows that I need a car. He knows that I need a place to live, that I need to eat. And He knows that there are those out there that need the services that I provide. And that energy exchange will take place. And saying that, I want to thank all those who sent a donation last week to me. And I'm so grateful, because there are those that did. There are those that said yes to me. There are those who said yes to themselves. There are those who received medicine from me and energies from me, healing energies. And they said yes to an exchange of energies by sending something to me. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing, And the week didn't stop at the natural grocers. It continued on, and I had dinner with a lovely friend of mine. Amalia Camateros. She was on the show a few weeks back. We were talking about her book, and I presented her with a drum, with a 14 or 15 inch elk skin drum, and she resonated with it. The moment she started to hit it, she resonated with it, and we held ceremony. And then I presented it to her again because she played with it, and then we did ceremony. And it was a beautiful thing to do ceremony with a shaman who I'm not familiar with. I'm familiar, but I'm not, and I don't know what their medicines are like. And we are in ceremony because ceremony is ceremony, and it doesn't matter. And I got to hand her that drum. And a couple of days later, she said to me that she used it in her class, and she was just like, it felt so good to hear that and be able to do that, and to have fun at dinner, just laughing, silly. And we're two grown adults in our 50s, and we're just laughing and enjoying ourselves. And it was beautiful. And then I received a message from a woman named Sivan. She's a photographer, a professional photographer. That's what she does for a living. And she said, I would like you to bring your drums. Come to my house and drum. I am a professional photographer. I would like to photograph you. I would like you to come meet some other people who are doing sound as well. And I got to meet a gentleman named Robin, who in fact, Robin plays didgeridoo, and he plays bowls, and he plays gongs. He just happens to be from Vermont. And he told me that Ian Morris reached out to him to do some didgeridoo work for him. And this is how my world works. My world gets smaller and smaller, and I get to stand in the power of who and what the energies are that surround me and that are me, and I am them. And here's this guy that I never met before, and this woman that I never met before, and we're at this beautiful home, and we're in the energies of the vortices of coffee pot and other things. And what a beautiful time. We spent 2 or 3 hours together just hanging out. We never got to the drums and the gonging. We were just hanging out, and we were drinking tea, and we were drinking coffee, and we were having a snack and chocolate. It was just such a beautiful time. These are people who I had never met before. Sivan is a friend of mine on Facebook, and there's 2,000 people that I'm acquainted with on Facebook, but she stepped forward. Roberto Brazzi stepped forward. Eileen stepped forward. These people stepped forward because they wanted to know who I was. The young women at that grocery store, at Natural Grocers, step forward and say, "Hey," and you know what that's like for a guy like me? It's incredible. It's incredible. We're just after Easter, and it reminds me of when the Christ consciousness rode into that town, Bethlehem, or wherever he rode into. I don't remember the story right now. But he rode in on a donkey on Palm Sunday, and they're waving palms. It isn't that, but it's that kind of feeling of being received. There's a song by Paul Simon. I have reason to believe that we all will be received in Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee, Graceland, grace, gracia, grace. I stand in grace when I was received that way, and I stand in grace with those who graciously receive me. And what a wonderful feeling! What just an amazing, amazing thing to be able to share with you. And I'm sharing this with you because you can too. You will too. All you have to do is give yourself the opportunity that they didn't give you, that they took away from you, that they tried to keep you from having. And you know who the they is that I'm talking about. The they. And I talked about the theys when I was there in Sedona at the workshop that I taught, This Side of Consciousness, at Sedona Creative Life Center. This is what I talked about. This is what I speak of. This healing through, coming out of overcoming the overcomer that never overcomes, and standing with Creator Great Spirit and trusting and not having to ask over and over and over and over again for what it is that I think that I'm not getting, and I probably already got it. I just can't see it because I'm blinded by my own thinking. Did you hear what I said? I'm blinded by my own thinking. Are you blinded by your own thinking? By the thinking that you don't deserve, nobody cares, nobody loves me, nobody wants to be with me, everybody's mean to me. And as you perpetuate that story and you continue to start that story, you get what you get and you manifest what you manifest. The moment you change word, palabra, word, vibration, word, nurture, your nature. The moment you start to speak of yourself in the different nature and nurture that voice and speak of the things that you can and will do despite not being able to see it. Speak it and it will manifest. And everybody who knows me knows that I speak from truth. Because the weekend didn't just end at this woman's house, in fellowship. Because now there's a plan that's in motion about doing some drumming for ballet and some gongs and bells and things when I'm back in Sedona. Now there's a plan for me to come and do a solstice event in Sedona. Did I ask for that? No, I didn't ask for it. They brought it. They present these things were presented to me. This man, Roberto Brazzi, wants to work with me and other people who do vibrational work, music through sound. And I say yes to him. I said, Roberto, when I come back into town, we'll hook it up, brother. We'll do it. We'll do it. I say yes. Oishino, oishino, oishino. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready to go to Monument Valley to be with that family, to be with the Saltwaters, and be in celebration and ceremony at that powwow with this beautiful family. I met this Arabella's beautiful mother, and we started to talk. And I shared with her, and she shared with me. Her husband was a medicine man, Harold Chi. He crossed over a year ago or a couple of years ago. I'm not sure what she said, and her daughter Arabella told me the same thing. Harold Chi was an energy healer. Not an energy healer, excuse me, a medicine man, an indigenous medicine man, a Native American medicine man. Did you hear what I said? Chi, prana, QI, chi, prana, energy. He was named Harold Chi, and that's not lost on me. I understand who and what he is, who and what he was. And he was there as I was talking to Grandma. As we stood there talking, he was present and I felt his presence. Just like Arabelle felt my presence when I came around the corner. And I didn't talk about this. When I met Arabelle, I was walking by and I'd come around from the backside of these booths. And as I was walking past, she said, "What nation are you from?" And I said, "Why are you asking?" She said, "Because you look like a Native American." I said, "I am Tarahumara from Chihuahua, Mexico. That's where my family's from Chihuahua, from El Paso area, from that area. And I'm Chichimoc on my father's side. Chi, again, from Guanajuato, Mexico. Leon, my father's family was from Leon. And so I'm getting closer to who and what I am, and I'm getting more of an understanding. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's a blessed thing, a whole. And I want to remind you, 323-870-3791 is the call-in number. Feel free to call in. Feel free to ask what you want. Feel free to say what you want. I will not say no to you. I will do whatever I can for you because that's what I am here for, a whole. So as Arabella was talking to me, she said, I felt you from when I didn't see you. I felt you before I saw you. And when you walked by, I just kept watching you. She said, I knew you. And what a beautiful thing for somebody to say to me who doesn't know me. And that happened from the moment I got into Sedona, in that market, in that grocery store, across the street at the Whole Foods as well. And everywhere I went that week, and people even on social media, on Facebook, people reaching out to me, Siobhan reaching out to me, and Roberto reaching out to me. Man, I'm just like, I don't have words. And I sat in a restaurant on Saturday night after my event having dinner, and I was in tears. I was in tears of joy and gratitude because of what I have experienced. And Friday night, I said to my host and my friend Mina, I said, if nobody shows up to my event on Saturday afternoon, it doesn't matter because the medicine has already taken place. The medicine has already happened. I ushered the medicine into Sedona when I came, and I honored her. I honored him. I honored all the souls and all my relations and all my spirit guides and the spirit animals when I set my drum down in between Bell Rock and Courthouse Butte, and I started to play in pitch black darkness, and the breeze came through, and I knew that I was in the presence of all my relations, of the ancients, 7 generations back, 7 generations forward, 7 generations present, and even more than 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. Eons and eons they were there. The next day, my friend Donna McGinnis, who works over at the Crystal Matrix and other places around town, the Crystal Shrine and other places. She's an amazing medicine woman, amazing shaman. I get a message when I wake up the next day on Friday morning. She sends me a message. Were you in ceremony last night or this morning? And I said, I was drumming last night. She says, She said, I have a dream. I'm a dream shaman. She says, I had a dream that you were encircled by the ancients, by the ancient elders, by the ancient medicine men. And there was crow feathers the size of them or bigger between each medicine person, each ancient elder. And they were holding you. They were encircling you. And when I heard that, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't I believe that? Why couldn't it happen? Because I live in belief. I live in faith. I live in spirit. I live in the power of the spirit of who and what I am and who and what I have always been. And they tried to wipe me of that spirit clean by calling me Anthony, by calling me Joseph, by calling me Rodriguez. Those are not my names. I honor the name Walking Crow more than I honor those names, because those are European names. Those aren't the names of my traditions, of my traditional peoples. They're not. Neither is English. Neither is Spanish. Neither is French. Neither is Portuguese. Neither is German. None of those languages that are spoken on these continents of the states, of the North and South Americas are, as in Africa, as in Australia, as in the nations of those indigenous people around the world, as in Ireland, as in Scotland, as in at the Czech Republic, as in on the African plains, all the different languages that are spoken. English and all those languages from Europe are not the tongues of those places, or of Australia, of New Zealand, of those places. They are not. They are not. So as I start to unravel this language that I speak, and by standing in my power, you know that my truth is my truth, because I do what I say and I say what I do. You can too. And if you don't feel you can, reach out to me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com. Reach out to me through my website at www.sacreddrummedicine.com. Reach out to me at my office at area code 818-442-1717. Set up a healing session, long distance or otherwise. Set up a drumming session, a 45-minute drumming session, a half-hour drumming session, long distance or otherwise, or in person. Set up a coaching a session, a half-hour coaching session. Set up a half-hour mentoring session, whether I'm with you or we're in the office or we're walking on the earth sharing. Set those things up. Change your life, because you have permission to, not from me, but from yourself. Give yourself the permission. Permission. Each mission. Give yourself permission to do the things that you need to do for you. Be on a mission for self. You first always. You first always. Me first always. A whole little Austin first always. Sarah first always. My beautiful producer Tiffany first always. A whole Anthony, Sarah's husband, first always. And so on and so forth, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. My friend Maureen Lansing. Maureen first always. A whole. And that's the way it goes. That's the way it breaks down. You don't have to live up to the expectation, spoken or unspoken, that is mine, because I don't live up to this expectation, spoken or unspoken, that's somebody else's. I can't. I won't do that. And I had to leave. I talk about this. I had to leave a marriage. So I had to leave things behind and let go of things because they're not necessary. What's necessary is me. Always. What's necessary is me. What's necessary is to be present. What's necessary is the gift of my presence, the gift of your presence, your gift of yourself, giving of your presence. So, wow, that's a lot. And you know what? We're already coming up on the 3/4 hour of this show. That's going quick. That's going quick. And my trip to Sedona wasn't over. I sat in that restaurant crying tears. The waiter walked up and I was in tears because I just was so happy about how things went, And across the way, by the way, was sitting Amalia Camateros with a couple of friends, and I was looking at her like, I know that woman. Do I know that woman? Is that her? And I didn't get up from my seat to go see if that was her. She finally was, I don't know what she was doing, and she turned her head. She saw me sitting there and she waved, and it was a blessing. It was kind of, I would call it confirmation. I hope. And I was grateful to see her. I went over and said hello, and was as gracious with them as they've been with me. And wow, and then what else happened? What didn't happen? I just spent the day with my friend Mina on Sunday. She's going through a tough time. She needed somebody to be with her because every now and again we need somebody. Sometimes we are not enough for ourselves. Sometimes we are just not enough for ourselves because we need love, we need nurturance, we need care. Mina is my friend and she's my host, and I was glad to be able to be there with her and her roommate Bobby. And what a gift! What a gift that I received! What a gift that I was able to be as well. I got to hang out with my friend Chewy. Chewy is a little mini Doberman, Chihuahua mixed Doberman, I think he is. And we hung out. And the blessings, just the blessings of being in a place that's not really familiar to me, but is my home. And I speak of as my home. Put your feet flat on the floor and sit up straight and take your hands and put them on your body. Put your hands on your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your left hand, and speak to yourself in a way that's beautiful. And say something like this and repeat after me. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. Are you? Do you? And don't doubt the words. Just say it. Even if you fumble through them, who cares? It's the intention that's most important. I don't edit any of my videos. I don't edit anything because I want you to know that I'm real. I want you to know that I'm here. I want you to know that I'm present. And if I make a mistake and if I stammer or stutter, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I hope. There are more important things to get bugged about, The more important things. So say those words. Give that to yourself. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. Aho. I'd like to invite you folks out to Sedona. But more than that, I'd like to invite you into your own home. I'd like to invite you into your own soul, into your own heart. I will be launching my drive across America, the United States, in late June, early July. I'm trying to set up something up in Austin, Texas right now. But if you're in a different state, reach out to me and set something up. Let's set a date so I can get there and be there and do that. Let your neighbors know, let your friends know that I will be coming and that you want to share me with them. I hope. So they can get a healing. They can get a message. We can bring hope into the room. Whether they have it or not doesn't matter. Because I'm not the hope of everything, The hope is within you, and you will bring that with you if you believe. I hope if you are a person of faith. I hope. Open your doors. Open the doors to your home. Ask your friends to bring a covered dish so we can share a meal after we're done and create further community. Ask them to make a $20 donation as an exchange of energies for having me there. That's it. That's simple. I will come to your home. I will come across the country and do that all summer long. So I get to the East Coast and I get to be with my shaman friend, Courtney Hale, Courtney Starheart Hale, and I can be with a Tiffany White Sage Woman, and I can be with Ian Morris and all those in between that would want me to stop. And Lynn Turner in Asheville, North Carolina, all those that want me to be there. Go write it down, go and tell. Go invite your friends. Let them know. Go tell it on the mountain. Go tell it on the mountain. The good news is here. What is the good news? You're the good news. I'm the good news. We in community are the good news. Oh, and I will stand in that. I will stand in that no matter what's happening, no matter what goes on. Aho. 323-870-3791. And I want to remind you, that's a calling number, but I want to remind you that you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with myself, Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. Aho. Aho. So all this happened this weekend in Sedona, and it was all blessings. And, I gave away a lot of sage. I gave away sage to people because it's a blessing to be able to come into somebody's home, and I brought sage, and that was it, and that's that. That's it, and that's that. And what if I can only? Well, Sarah, you know what? Faith is bigger than that, and I trust that you know more people than that. Oh, she know what? Oh, I don't. That's because they have friends and they have family. Those 4 or 5 people have friends and family. So ask them to ask somebody else. There's a metaphysical or spiritual community in every town, and you have to scratch the surface to find it sometimes. But I'm going to be posting all this stuff on Facebook and where I'm going to be, not exactly where, because you don't want just anybody showing up to your home, but that I'm going to be in a particular town, at a particular time, that person, whoever's house that is, can judge for themselves whether they want to let somebody in their house. How does that work? Right. So, it's a beautiful day, and it was a beautiful weekend in Sedona. And what ended up happening, it didn't end up, I made a decision on Sunday. I'm going to stay another day. Now, I'm not going to tell my bosses that, I called in sick yesterday. And I called in sick because it was more important for me to be in Sedona with Mina and Bobby and all those that were there for me. It was more important for me to be with the energies of what was going on around me and be part of that. And I was even going to make the decision to stay till Tuesday to do this show live from Sedona. But then that would have had me rushing tomorrow to get to work. I didn't want to call out another day because I don't want to do that. I want to be fair to my bosses as well. So I called out yesterday, but I won't call out tomorrow. So, I stayed an extra day, and I didn't have to, but I wanted to. It was something that felt necessary for me, so I did it, so I did it. And, I don't know how much it costs for a day for me to work for 7 or 8 hours where I work part-time, but I was willing to give that up to give myself something. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? I was willing to give up my paycheck to give myself something that was more important, that I feel is more important. Because if my vessel is full, if this vessel is full, I can't put anything in it if it's full. I can't receive anything in it if it's full. I have to empty the vessel. I have to make sure that it's going to have enough space in there so I can pour more in. Otherwise, it's going to overflow and end up on the counter and on the floor. And that's just waste. That's wasteful. I do not want to be wasteful with the gifts and the energies that Creator Great Spirit gives me. I want to be gracious, and I want to be resourceful with it. I want to be a solutions provider for things when the energies come. Some people need an answer. I have an answer because I'm a solutions provider. and I'm able to say yes to the answer. Aho shino wana honata, aho shino wana he. And there's something else that happened last week too. And I wasn't able to talk about it last Tuesday because it didn't happen on Tuesday. It happened on Wednesday. And Ian Morris, listening to Smile, asked me to do a chant, which I now use. I'm now using for and in ceremony to invoke spirit. When I do an event, when I do ceremony, when I'm gathering sage, when I'm making a drum, I sing this song now. And Ian Morris released it last week on his new album, and it's called, heck, I don't even know what it's called. Isn't that funny? I don't remember. I don't know. I think it's, well, I'm not going to say because I don't remember right now. So anyways, I was trying to look it up and see what it is. Go to listeningtosmile.com, or if you're interested in hearing what that sounds like, what that beautiful song sounds like, send me a message through Messenger, through Facebook, and I will send you a copy where you can listen to it. And if you want to buy it, I believe it's $15 on listeningtosmile.com. But if you go to buy on listeningtosmile.com and you use my code A Rodriguez in lowercase, just A Rodriguez, you can buy that and get a 10% discount. And you can have that in your collection. And as I move along, I'm already going to start. I already want to talk to Ian about doing an album, 5 or 6 songs of my own, of all drumming and all chants for meditation, for journeying, and for invoking spirit, and in the tongue that I'm given, because I started speaking that tongue, that language that I speak, that you folks hear me speak, started almost a year ago in when I got back from Maui in July. And I believe that it's a sacred language. I believe that it's an ancient language, and I believe it's an ancient language of a people that I don't know, that I don't remember knowing right now. But as I sing, I will remember more and more and more, and that will start to unravel. And I look forward to doing that. Aho, aho, aho. I am so blessed today, and I'm so blessed that I was able to talk to you about what faith is and what faith looks like and what it smells like and what it tastes like. Faith is saying yes when it's dark, like I drummed at Bell Rock and Courthouse Butte when it was dark. It was pitch black. And when I was done drumming, my friend Mina was already laying on the floor looking up at the stars, at the constellations. I laid down next to her and I was just stared at the constellations, and I was in awe of what I could see. And I was in awe of what I couldn't see, because it's what I can't see and what I can't hear is what's the biggest blessing to me. They're the things that I can't hear, I can't see, I can't feel, I can't smell, I can't taste. And I say yes to those things. Aho shino wana honata, oishino, oishino, oishino. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Type that you're ready. Tell me that you're ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Oishino wana honata. I should want to hold. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm really, really I'm blessed, and I want to thank you, everybody. And thank you, Tiffany White, Sage Woman, Tiffany Michelle White, Sage Woman, as a matter of fact, my beautiful producer, my beautiful friend, and my accomplice in life. She's an accomplice in life, as far as I'm concerned, in my life, in my blessings, and how I move forward. And I'm grateful to have you in my life. Everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope you chose correctly, however you chose. It really doesn't matter. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And I thank you for coming, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Aho, shino wana honata. Blessings to you.